I have this comment here to read on that was left in one of my videos. And the comment said, bottom line is that men need to understand that a man can control almost every aspect of his life except for women. You can't control women. You keep thinking logically with women. Most content creators are very poor at articulating this. Even big platforms like Fresh and Fit, Rolo, MJ Get Right, etc., don't talk about the mistake men make when dealing with women in terms of logic. That's so true because they get so butthurt about how women don't think like them. And I try to really think about this from this angle, right? Men are saying they want feminine women, but then they're asking feminine women to think and operate like men. And my thing is like this. You can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. If you want feminine women, then you're going to have to understand that means they're going to also communicate in feminine ways that may not always be, that may at times be annoying to us, right? But it's better to keep her in the frame of mind where she's able to feel comfortable communicating in a feminine way than having to try to convert to a way of being like a man and thinking like a man or whatever. And then you lose the femininity that you wanted out of the woman. So as guys, again, learning women is like learning a second language. You can choose, it's like, it'd be like going to like Mexico and saying, well, I don't speak Spanish. And so the people here need to speak Spanish or else they're just all crazy. Or you could say, you know what, they speak Spanish. I don't speak it that great, but I might be able to learn some like one-on-one Spanish to get me through this and be able to at least start to connect with them. And that's the route that I chose to go. I decided to stop complaining about women and just say, you know what, fine. They think about things differently. They talk about things differently. How can I get into that world? I was fortunate, a strong word. My dad died when I was 9. So it was my mom, my grandma, my aunts, my cousins. I grew up around a lot of women. So I was in the world enough to know that the way that they speak has a pattern. They're not all crazy, and that some of the reasons that they hold back on the way that they speak is because of men, because we judge them, because we try to say things like, that's not the way you should think about things, blah, 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 blah. And so they've had to learn to say things in a way that gets around our judgment of them when they try to communicate directly, you know? And so I don't take any of that to harm. I can tell now women are saying things and if they mean another thing, I don't feel the need to call them out on it. I just ask them different questions that allow them to eventually open up to say the thing they actually wanted to say the whole time. And then more importantly, not judge them for the thing they were saying or thinking because it's just different. It's not worse than mine or better than mine. And so guys really got to get on that page, you know? But anyway, continuing the comment, he says, men have linear feelings, as in we are content until an outside stimuli alters that state of mind. If no outside stimuli happens, then our default setting is contentment. I agree. He said, constant peace like a monk in the mountains. Women, on the other hand, aren't. Women are like a bad cable connection to a monitor. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So you need to have a plan on how you can work when that second monitor isn't connecting. And that can happen at any day. It's illogical, right? You've got the plugs in correctly. Everything is set up right on the docking station, but you still get no signal found. It drives you up the wall because logically it should be working, but it isn't. After digging the FAQ, you find out that it's nothing you did wrong. It just needs updated driver files. So you patiently download the files, turn the monitor on, and get to work. That's how you have to be with women. Understand that every day is different in her world. Well, also true is that my aunt told me this years ago, like every 7 years, our skin is different. Like, you know, our skin starts to shed. And so the skin texture I had 7 years ago is different than it is now because it sheds off and you get a whole new thin skin. So you ineffectively become a new person every 7 years. Now with women, they have, on top of the skin thing, they also have like emotional changes. They have period stuff and hormone things that are happening all the time. So yeah, on a day-to-day basis, you could say, like, for example, a joke to a woman on one day and she'd laugh her ass off, and then the next day she'd be offended by it. And so when this kind of stuff happens, though, most guys get jarred and think like, oh my God, either I don't know what to do, or like, oh, she's so crazy. She's acting this way yesterday, but then today, blah, blah, blah. And it's to the point is that you can't take it like it's the end all be all and take it so seriously. You have to understand that women are just functioning differently. And so with that different functioning, you have to come to it understanding, like you said, it's like there's going to be an updated software. So it may just be that, like, for whatever reason, she read something in the news, for example, that made the joke you said yesterday not as funny today. Okay, fine. Learn from it, adjust, and then know how to move going forward versus, she changed. I'm mad because I got news for you. Even the woman that is the most happy-go-lucky in the world is going to have that day where she's off a bit. And if you allow her being off to rattle you, one, it's not going to allow her to trust you because she's thinking that even if I'm changing up, he's going to still be that rock for me. And if you decide to suddenly switch up because she's mad or she's having a bad off day, it's not going to allow her to trust you. And also, that's going to happen from time to time. And as the guy, you have to not take things so personally, be indifferent to it, know how to have empathy without completely falling into the pit of like her world of like, oh, she's mad, so I gotta be mad too. Like, but just know what that balance is and know how to better correct it so you can be there for her and also not flip out when she's doing these various changes, you know? He says, how she felt yesterday isn't going to be how she feels tomorrow. There's no constant state of contentment with a woman. Well, I wouldn't say, he says she's content now, but tomorrow she may be angry, sad, frustrated, scared, horny, delusional, depressed, all in the same day with no outside stimuli. Well, I'll say, I do think women get a bad rap. Like the idea that women can't ever be at a level of stability in their emotions. I don't think that's completely true. Because just on the opposite side, for all the guys you think are so stable, how many guys do we see like suddenly flip out because they lose their job? Or the woman, decides that she makes a decision that he doesn't agree with, and now he wants to go all slap happy on her. Like dudes also have times where we have irrational behaviors and irrational emotions, So just like men can have irrational emotions at some time, I think women are very capable of being stable at times and at being able to, be more even keel. But a lot of that is also based on how is the guy in our life showing up? Is the guy being the rock? Is he able to look like he has things under control? Is he being the proper leader? Those things, if those things are in place with you in your life, then women can be more trusting of that and they can relax more in their femininity. And as a result, they'll be more stable. And even if the things are, starting to, be a bit haywire in their life, they can come to you and ask a couple of questions and get right back to stability. So it still goes back to you as the guy need to work on being the best version of yourself that you can be so you can show up as that stable person in her life. So that way she can also, because women are going to mirror you. So if you're stable, then she's going to be relatively stable, even at times, and yes, she's on a period or doing whatever, she'll still be able to have a decent level of, not being too out there because she recognizes, but ultimately things are going great because things with him seem to be going pretty good, So recognize that. But yeah, everything this guy's saying, absolutely on point.
You's a bad boy, but you can't stop, won't stop. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high class man. You a high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high